So we are back in the garden a week later after transplanting to check what's going on, what has happened, and to see the next steps. So the first thing that I want you to know is after transplanting, it's not perfect. So the steps we're going to discuss are going to be filling the gaps and also the spraying regimen and weeding strategy. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, follow if you're not subscribed. It's going to be a good one. And we're also going to have a video where we discuss the money making potential of cabbage. So if you're interested in knowing how much you can earn from a plot of cabbage, stay tuned. As you can see, the cabbage is well transplanted now. We have transplanted almost half an acre. We just have a little section left. We still have more than 1,000 seedlings in the seed beds, so we're going to be transplanting them. The gentleman is re-digging where he had dug before. So what happened here is he started digging before we had done the seed beds, and that led to the weeds regrowing while the seed beds were being done. So he has to re-dig that, and then we clean it up and we transplant our cabbage until it looks clean like this. Now, I don't know if you can see, in here we have some weeds already starting to grow. So I think you can notice from what's here that the weeds have started to regenerate, to regrow. These little things, these are weeds coming up. And you'll also see some of these plants that weren't really dug up. And what else do I want to show you? Let's go here. These are mushrooms forming in the field. Okay, so I'm not a mushroom guy, so I don't know if they're edible. So for me, they're weeds. So the next stage is going to be weeding. We're going to come in with hose because we're just doing half an acre, isn't it? So we're going to come in with hose and we're going to weed, clean the garden. Once the weeds reach a certain size, then as you're weeding, you're going to be putting soil back underneath the cabbage as a support for the cabbage so that the bulbs can grow bigger. That's something you don't get told regularly. It's a trick I was told, and it's something that I've witnessed firsthand. If you let the cabbage grow on its own without putting support, let me look for a good example. So you see what this looks like. So the stem will keep growing, and then the bulb will form in the leaves here. So you'll get multiple leaves forming, and I'm happy that though some of the leaves have dried out, the leaves that were there when we transplanted, we have new leaf formation. If you can notice that, we have new leaf formation. So the plan is to focus on care. So what am I spraying before the weeding starts? I'm going to be spraying a mixture of insecticide, uh, a fertilizer, foliar fertilizer, which has nitrogen for better leaf formation. Remember, we've already put DAP in the ground. So there's DAP underneath there, which we covered with some soil, and then we put the seedling on top. So the DAP is for root formation, and then the foliar that we're going to put in is for the leaves to grow. Then you still have an issue with insects. These are new bites. So we sprayed last week, but it's been raining a lot. So it seems I might have to improve the spraying regimen, increase it somehow. So we're going to spray. Now once we've sprayed, the insect will reduce. Now this is cabbage. So you have to understand that with cabbage, you have a lot of issue with insects. Insects are your biggest problem. They can wipe out this whole field. Cabbage is so sweet to insects. So once you start seeing bites like that, it's not so prevalent right now, but by tomorrow I'll have a problem on my hands. And the issue might be because of this patch and this. They keep insects in them. So you spray the field, the insects hide. Then after the chemical is washed away by the rain, they come back out. So you see this? This is terrible. This is very much affected by insects. So we have to come in and spray. We bought Rocket. It's an insecticide. It will do the job. We spray a good mixture. That shouldn't be too strong, else you get burning of the leaves. Now if you also notice, there are some plants that are sort of yellowing the leaves. So I have to believe that that is being caused by overdosing them in insecticide. The boy who sprayed must have put a strong mixture. So reduce the mixture and respray. Also, it might be an issue of the dap underneath scorching the plant. So I have to be sure that the chemicals I'm using are put to good use and they are used adequately. Otherwise, overdoing it kills your plants. Now I mentioned we have a seed bed still. We have plants still in the seed bed. So we've got plants like this here, right? That might be as good as dead. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over the weekend because I can only work in these gardens during weekends. So I'm going to come with some of the seedlings from the seed beds and replant in the holes where I see weak plants or dead plants. The reason for that is I don't want gaps. As I'm spraying, as I'm doing my work, there shouldn't be any gaps in the field. Makes it easier when it comes to weeding, makes it easier when it comes to managing the field and counting and so on and so forth. So no gaps. So this area is where he's started clearing again in preparation for whatever remains in the seed bed to be put in. Remember, we also have eggplants, enough eggplants for about a quarter acre, and I also have onions for about a 50 by 100 plot. So we still have a lot of work to do before the season ends, and we still have a lot of preparation, clearing. This soil is very good, it's fertile. That's why you see the weeds grow so quickly, and the rain makes it even worse. So where you see that bush right there, that's also there's cassava in there. So I want it cleared so that I'm intercrop the cassava with the onions. That's the plan. Not sure if it will work out, but that is the plan. So fingers crossed. So that's the strategy: spraying, liquid fertilizer, fungicides, and insecticides. Then we're going to be weeding. In this case, you might have to weed 2 times or 3 times before the harvest is over because of the rain. And that's it. Hope this video has been helpful. Hope you've learned something. Cheers.